Episode 3 of Spooktober. Annabelle X Multiple Chucky Dolls by Scary Stories 84. Annabelle just recently got excommunicated from the nursing school that she was sent to. She was only allowed to haunt there for a couple of weeks before the nursing school got a priest to exterminate Annabelle's presence. Yet, like always, Annabelle's spirit never died. And next thing she knew, she was being shipped off to a toy store in Manhattan. Annabelle was annoyed but optimistic that the priest hadn't figured out a way to destroy the demonic soul that possessed the doll's body. The truck that she was carried in finally stopped, and the truck door lifted, and Annabelle saw the man as he moved containers of toys to this new toy store. On the front, it was labeled Toys R Us, and she saw very clearly branded a type of doll called Good Guys. Now, she didn't know what these Good Guy dolls were. After all, Annabelle was a one-of-a-kind vintage doll. These dolls seemed mass-produced with orange hair and looked like they had fetal alcohol syndrome. She was carefully moved to the back of the storage container next to a bunch of these Good Guy dolls. She waited there for a couple of hours. Nothing has happened. Annabelle was lost in her thoughts. After all, she was the spirit of a child that was lost at a very early age. After all, the child was a virgin and wasn't able to lose it before it died and possessed the body that Annabelle is in. Annabelle always wondered what it would be like to have sex, but it was almost impossible in this doll-like body. Then, she heard a voice.
"What's this pretty doll doing over here?"
She turned back, and she saw one of the Good Guy dolls talks. She was impressed. She didn't realize that doll technology got this advanced. Through her demonic voice, she subliminally messaged the Chucky doll. "My name is Annabelle. I'm a demonic doll that haunts humans." The Good Guy doll responded, "My name's Chucky, and I'm also possessed. You see, I did some voodoo magic, and I got stuck in this doll." Annabelle was weirded out. She thought she was the only spirit-possessed doll. "Well," Annabelle messaged subliminally to Chucky, "I know that I am the better possessed doll." Chucky responded, "No, I'm the better possessed doll." Next thing you know, the two were fighting. Chucky took out his iconic handy-dandy knife and started slashing away at Annabelle. But Annabelle, being able to possess the powers of Satan, easily flipped and dodged the strikes from Chucky. They went at it for a very long time, Annabelle throwing some punches and Chucky getting some good cuts onto Annabelle's porcelain skin. They were both tired out though, when suddenly Annabelle was caught from behind. She subliminally messaged to Chucky, What are you doing? This isn't fair. You can't gang up on me. But she looked behind her, and it was another good guy doll. And the good guy doll said, well, I told you I got voodoo transformed to this one body. Doesn't mean I could transform my soul into all of these Chuckies. Annabelle then realized that all of the good guys in the factory were possessed by Chucky, and therefore all became Chucky dolls. Now, I ain't never seen a doll that pretty before. How old y'all? You have that nice vintage pretty look. Annabelle was flustered. No one ever commented about how pretty she looked. Everyone was usually weirded out by how old she was. Why, thank you, Chucky. But I thought you were gonna kill me. After all, we've been fighting to the death. Chucky smirked with an evil grin. About that, as a doll, I don't get that much sexual desire. I did have a wife once, but that didn't work out. And I've been trying to satisfy my blue balls forever. In fact, all of my Chucky dolls have been wanting to release their nut. Annabelle then got what Chucky meant. After all, she then realized that she was surrounded by a bunch of sex-crazy Chucky dolls. But Annabelle didn't resist. After all, she was a virgin demon, and maybe having a little sexual fun wouldn't hurt anybody. So she responded to Chucky. Well, you're all mine. All the Chucky dolls said in unison. Great! Next thing you know, she was being apprehended by 5 different Chucky dolls, each one grabbing one of her limbs, with the head Chucky doll smirking and licking his lips. He went straight for her pussy. After all, Annabelle did have a pussy, which is weird because she's a doll, and dolls shouldn't have pussies. But Chucky started licking it. Meanwhile, the other Chucky dolls were caressing her arms. Another Chucky doll came from behind, and instead of kissing her, took out his doll-like dick and started face-fucking Annabelle. Annabelle never experienced something like this, being gang-banged by 8 different dolls, but it really turned her on. Meanwhile, the Chucky that was eating her pussy stopped and was forcefully fingering her. After that, 2 more Chucky dolls added their fingers into her pussy. Soon, there were the hands of 5 different Chucky dolls inside her pussy. What you can say is that her pussy was super stretched out, especially for a doll of her size. Next thing you know, Chucky decided to enter into her pussy, thrusting in and out with his cock. Meanwhile, 5 other Chuckies were rubbing their cocks onto Annabelle's thighs and Annabelle's abdomens because they needed some sexual desire as well. Annabelle was getting rubbed in cocks left and right, all of them the same type of cock, the cock of a boy doll, Chucky doll, which if you think about it is very weird as well. Why the fuck would a kid's chat doll have a fucking penis? But that was beyond the point. Annabelle wasn't thinking about all of these logical inconsistencies. She was thinking about how much pleasure she was getting from all of the Chucky dolls raping her. There were 3 different Chucky dolls face fucking her right now. Some were actually fucking her ears as well. Her head had 5 different Chucky dolls fucking her. One Chucky doll fucking each of her ears, and 3 of them face fucking her mouth. Not only that, but She had 4 different Chucky dolls spreading out her thighs, making sure she had maximum surface area for pussy penetration. There were 3 different Chucky dolls that were trying to set up a triple penetration of the vagina. Meanwhile, 2 other Chucky dolls were breaking in Annabelle's asshole. Annabelle was taken over by the immense amount of pain, but also by the immense amount of pleasure. She started spasming like she was having a stroke, and next thing you know, she laid flat. This was the first time Annabelle ever climaxed as a doll, and it felt great. Next thing she knows, all 15 of the Chucky dolls that surrounded her were jerking off in her face, ready to come. She was glazed by the cum of all of these dolls. Must have been some magical splooge, because these dolls definitely weren't created to splurt cum at the buyer. Each one by one, covered her body in cum, and Annabelle was infatuated by the experience. Next thing you know, all the Chuckies left, and Annabelle was too busy covered in cum to even think about her next haunting. The end.